All right, time for movies. Hi, everyone. Time for movies with Mila part 2. This time, we're going to talk about the Netflix show called 2. Trigger warning for this one because I didn't make one for the other movie. Body horror, just general grossness. There's no, relationships within a family, relations within a family, abuse, kidnapping, all the things. So this movie called 2 on Netflix, which is why I was like, this movie is ridiculous and Netflix is going on. It's going to go on a little timeout because I can't right now. This woman wakes up in a bed lying with this man, and she's like, how did I get here? What am I doing here? And I was like, oh, I hope they don't try to shame her for having her little fun night out. She tries to get up, so she's like, they're laying stomach to stomach, side to side. She tries to get up and she can't. He starts screaming. She starts screaming. They're like, I think we're stuck together. She's like, get off of me. Get off of me. I don't know you. And I was like, I don't know you. Get off. Go, girl. You got to get out of there. They roll to the side. Why are these people sewn together? They're trying to figure out, they spend this is going to be a short review because I just can't even. They spend this entire movie trying to figure out why they're sewn together, trying to get their memories back and remember what's going on. And so there's like bits and pieces of them kind of like they're naked and sewn together. So they're close already. And we're all suspecting that they think they've already slept together. So, like they do some little kissies, they do some little touchies, they do some little things. Come find out, oh boy was like, they walk around the room, like they're stuck in this room. It's kind of like Saw, but being sewn together. So they're walking around the room trying to figure out the clues and stuff. They see pictures, they see little like things that just make them remember stuff. And so they find a picture of this lady with these earrings. And so they're sitting on the bed and the guy's like, I'm starting to remember something. I was in a bar and I was really drunk. And this old man was like, do you want to sleep with my wife? I'll pay you to sleep with my wife. He's going to give me $10,000. And he goes, didn't you say your husband was older? And she was like, yeah. What did he look like? So, oh boy, annoying. This is another reason why I can't remember what he looked like. I can't remember what he sounded like. He was really drunk. I can't remember a lot of details about him. He was really drunk. I just don't know. I don't know. And I was just like, you're not being helpful here, sir. So they finally deduce from what he can remember that the man he was talking to was probably her husband and that he was trying to convince him to have sex with her. And she was like, he was saying, I thought he just wanted to have like a threesome. I didn't think, he's like, sleep with my wife. I didn't think that he wanted me to like sleep with you so he could sew us together. And she was like, I swear it's probably my husband. So then the phone rings. They go to answer the phone. The voice over the phone is a little distorted, but it's all like, how are you enjoying your room? And so she stops because she's like, that's not my husband. Like, I know that's not him. And the guy's like, it has to be your husband. Who else would it be? And so they're still trying to like figure things out. And then they run across the picture of the woman with the earrings and they're like, she's like, I have those earrings, or I feel like those earrings are really familiar. And she's like, I've been lying to you. They get out of the room. They go into other rooms. They're trying to figure out where they are, like where they are so they can figure out if they can get out. It's a lot of like optical illusions going on around this room. And they find a remote when they first wake up. So he's like, there's cameras. Someone is watching us. So they eventually make it out. And they wander into this other room and there's all these animals in cages. Why has this person been sewing animals together to try to like, I guess, see how to make it work so he can experiment on the animals? I guess trigger warning for animal abuse. So he can figure out how to make it work when he tries to sew them together. So all the animals are all sewn together. It is insane. Then they come across, these stories about children, these children that were born conjoined at the stomach, how the mother had the children, the mother died in childbirth. They have pictures of the mother. The father is paranoid schizophrenic. and they take the children away. They separate the children and they separate their stomachs, not separate them as in move them to different places. They do end up going to different places, but they physically separate them. And then they send them off to different places so that they can live their lives. So this is when girl decides to share, I lied to you. I said I was 33. I'm actually going to be turning 38 on May 4th. And he's like, I too have a birthday on May 4th. So now they're looking at each other because they're like, we're twins and we were doing stuff together, but we're twins who were conjoined. And now like someone has found us and sewn us back together. And so then that's when they run into the guy who's saying that he's their father and they will never be alone. And he's found a way that they'll never be alone. And there were some other conjoined twins that were brothers. And he was like, they happily lived out their life and had like 38 kids or something. They got married and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, okay, but that's a choice that they can make. Like, you can't sew people together and be like, here you go. Here's your friend partner for life. Also, like, they married another person, so they weren't having relations with each other. They were having relations with this other person. What are you expecting for this man and this woman to be able to do? How are you expecting this to be able to work out? It was a mess. So then they're attacking him so they can get away. They find a gun, shoot him. The man gets shot. He's like, the only way for you to survive is to cut yourself off of me. It reminds me of my favorite show, Bob's Burgers, where Art Crawl, and Louise is trying to make money from getting the kids to be artists, and she gets Andy and Ollie, the little twins, to make art, and she like threatens them to do it, and she leaves them out there making this art, and they're like, is she coming back? I don't think so. It's freezing. And he goes, here, cut me open and crawl inside of us so one of us can live. I love Bob's Burgers. But anyway, that's what it reminds me of. He's like, cut yourself off. Only one of us will be able to survive. And I was like, well, how's she going to survive with a big ass hole on her? But okay. Yeah, so that's what she does. Terrible. She cuts herself off from him and she crawls outside, but they're like it seemed like they were in a tropical place. Obviously, I was not paying too much attention to this, but they're in this snowy place. There's snow everywhere. She crawls out in the snow and I was like, well, hey girl, where are you going? One, you have this big old hole on the side of you. You're bleeding out profusely. There's snow everywhere. You don't know how far you are from civilization or like a town or something to get help. Unwise decisions. So she runs out in the snow naked with this hole on her and bleeds out in the snow, and he bleeds out in the room, and they like turn like they're like in the end it even superimposes this yin yang symbol on top of them, and it's like they are the balance. It was a really peculiar, weird movie, and I was just like, this is why Netflix sometimes you know, hole in one, you know, slam dunk, straight out the park, you know, all of that. Not this one. This one y'all could have kept in the queue. Y'all didn't need, y'all. It was a mess of a movie. So that was 2 on Netflix. If you're looking for something that's just kind of a mess, check it out. It was a little slow. It didn't make a lot of sense. You know, they're trapped, so there's really not a way out. If you're needing your Saw fix because we haven't had a new Saw movie in a while, you know, maybe this will give you what you're looking for a little bit. I feel like they made a lot of unwise decisions, but I was talking to my friend about this the other day, and we all know that that's the only way that horror movies really make it. Horror movies, thriller movies, movies like that, is people have to make unwise decisions because otherwise there would be no movie. And I mean, I don't know what would be your best decision to make if you're sewn to some other person that you don't really know. But I know I probably wouldn't have gone for the whole, let me cut myself off from them so I can try to crawl outside and make it and survive. Because I would just be thinking, this just doesn't seem like it's going to work. But I also wouldn't want a dead person attached to me because that seems like a good way to go septic and like die still that way. But I mean, they both ended up being dead either way. So I also wonder, like, the old man who sewed them together, because he was like, oh, we can stay here forever. We'll be here forever together. And I'm like, well, why do you not have to be sewn to somebody? Why do I have to be sewn to somebody? Why can't we all be together but separate? The logic, the math is not mathing. The logic is not adding up. And I don't know if that's supposed to actually be their father, and then he's actually supposed to be like paranoid schizophrenic. I don't know if that's the route they're going with that whole, like, look what his mental illness made him do or something like that. I didn't feel very clear on that. I did feel very clear on the fact that, I mean, clearly he is not okay. So I don't know. And I am, yes, of the group of people who do not believe that always having an explanation for why someone does something horrible be a mental illness. I don't think that that's a good portrayal of individuals who experience those things. And I don't think that that behavior actually matches up with what paranoid schizophrenia is or does. So, But if you want something entertaining and interesting and something you can be like, this is a hot mess, go check it out. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.